वो लाइटें बंद करना शुरू कर दी।
ये नुकसान, ये 9 नंबर।
Indian armed forces have avenged the barbaric terror attack in Pahalgam, which claimed 26 innocent lives. Shortly after midnight, India launched Operation Sindoor, hitting terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, from where terrorist attacks against India have been planned and directed. Now, a total of 9 sites were targeted. The Indian response was focused, measured, and non-escalatory in nature, and no Pakistani military facilities were targeted. The sources indicate that Prime Minister Narendra Modi was monitoring the Indian strikes throughout. Now, shortly after the attacks, India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval spoke to his American counterpart Marco Rubio and briefed him on the actions taken. Later, Rubio put out a statement saying that he was monitoring the situation closely and urged both sides for a peaceful resolution. Now, senior Indian officials also spoke to their counterparts in the US, UK, Saudi Arabia, UAE and Russia to brief them on the steps taken by India against Pakistani terror infrastructure. In the aftermath of the attack, the IAF confirmed that Srinagar airport would remain closed for domestic operations today. Indian carriers Indigo, Air India and SpiceJet announced that flights to and from Srinagar would be impacted, with many flights getting cancelled, delayed or diverted. Meanwhile, the line of control continues to be tense, with heavy exchange of fire being reported. At least 3 people have died in firing from Pakistan in Jammu and Kashmir's Poonch. Meanwhile, Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif confirmed that India conducted precision military strikes and has called for a National Security Committee meet at 10 a.m. today. All educational institutions have been shut in Pakistan's Punjab province. Now, in one of the first major global reaction, U.S. President Donald Trump said that he knew something was going to happen and hoped that the hostilities would end very quickly.
No, it's a shame. We just heard about it just as we were walking in the doors of the Oval. Just heard about it. I guess people knew something was going to happen based on a little bit of the past. They've been fighting for a long time. You know, they've been fighting for many, many decades and centuries, actually, if you really think about it. No, I just hope it ends very quickly.
United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has also reacted to Indian strikes and called for exercising maximum military restraint. The UN chief added that the world cannot afford a military confrontation between India and Pakistan. Now, apart from international reactions and Indian political reactions, we also have reactions coming in from the families of the victims of the Pahalgam terror attack. Listen in.
जे हे नाव दिलंय त्याच्यासाठी मी त्यांचे आभार मानेल, कारण त्यांच्या सगळ्या लेकींचं सिंदूर त्या दहशतवाद्यांनी मिटवून टाकलं ना, आणि आज त्यांनी तेच नाव दिलं. मला ते नाव वाचल्यानंतर अतिशय डोळ्यात पाणी आलं की त्यांना जाणीव आहे आमची.
को बहुत धन्यवाद करती हूँ, उनसे बहुत थैंक यू कहती हूँ कि उन्होंने मेरे पति की मौत का बदला लिया है। जिस तरीके से हमारे पूरे परिवार को उन पे विश्वास था, उन्होंने उसी तरीके से जवाब देके हमारे विश्वास को कायम रखा है। एंड आई एम रियली थैंकफुल।
Now what you see on your screens are the visuals where India had hit the terror camps. Muzaffarabad in Pakistan-occupied Jammu Kashmir, Muridke in Pakistan, and Bahawalpur in Pakistan. Now these are the precision strikes that India carried out, attacking terror camps in Pakistan. And this is a reaction to the Pahalgam attack that killed 26 civilians. Now this comes, the operation called Operation Sindoor is where India struck 9 terrorist sites in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. This is where the attacks against India had been planned and directed at. Meanwhile, Indian armed forces reportedly targeted headquarters of banned terror groups that you see on the screens, Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba, in a series of precision strikes. Now, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh did talk to chiefs of all the 3 armed forces on phone, and we are also looking forward for a press conference at about 10 a.m. local time in New Delhi. A cabinet committee on security is also to meet later in the day. Now, right after these attacks that India carried out in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, at least 3 civilians were killed in Jammu and Kashmir as Pakistan Army violated ceasefire again. It resorted to shelling and firing along the line of control and international border. Indian Army did say it responded in proportionate manner. Meanwhile, several airports in North India, including Leh, Jammu, Srinagar and Dharmshala, as well as Amritsar, have been closed. All schools and institutions have also been closed in Srinagar, where the situation remains tense. Air India, Indigo and SpiceJet have cancelled flights to several destinations. Meanwhile, international reactions have also come in, and of course, one of the major ones from U.S. and early ones from U.S., where White House said the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio spoke to his counterparts from India and Pakistan. We also heard Donald Trump reacting to the attacks, calling it shameful and hoping that it is resolved early as possible. The White House has also encouraged both the sides to engage in discussions to settle the escalating military confrontation. On the other hand, rehearsal for civil defense drills are also underway in several parts in India. The emergency drills, which is the first since 1971, will be conducted by most of the states in India today. Again, just to brief up, Indian armed forces avenged the barbaric terror attack in Pahalgam, which killed 26 people. Shortly after midnight, and in the wee hours of today, India launched Operation Sindoor. Now, this operation hit terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, from where terrorist attacks against India have been planned and directed. Now, a total of 9 sites were targeted. Now, Indian response was focused, measured, and non-escalatory in nature, and no Pakistani military facilities were targeted. Only terror targets were targeted in these precision strikes. Sources indicate that Prime Minister Narendra Modi was monitoring the situation of the Indian strikes throughout. All right, to discuss more, we are now being joined by our Assistant Editor of Foreign Affairs, Siddhant Sibil, on phone line. Siddhant, thank you so much for joining us. Just in about less than an hour, we are expecting a press briefing at about 10 o'clock. What is the latest that you can bring in?
Well, it's a day of rapid developments. In approximately 45 minutes from now, the big presser will happen. There will be presentations that will be given by the Indian side. We know that nationwide mock drills will be undertaken as scheduled. And all in all, the situation remains very fluid. Will there be a Pakistani reaction? That's the big question. Overall, globally, reactions have been pouring in. U.S. Panama, UAE, Israel all have reacted. More and more countries are expected to react. The markets are also expected to open. We'll get more details as to how the markets are faring. But it is clear that it's a big day. India has avenged the Pahalgam terror attack, and this is something that was expected from the Indian side.
Absolutely. And of course, there's also mock drills happening in different parts of India. What is the latest update you can bring on? It's interesting because we were expecting those drills to happen today, and this is right after at midnight we just saw this all escalate and the attack just happening.
Well, yes, we know that the mock drills are something that was expected to happen. Now, we know that these are part of the announcements that have been done by the Indian side. This is to prepare for any eventualities, because it is now given that there could be an action from the Pakistani side. But all in all, situation remains tense. The situation in the region remains tense. The flights are, of course, not flying over Pakistan, over northern India as well. Schools have been shut down in Pakistan's Punjab. This is the big story that is breaking on both sides of the Radcliffe line. And essentially, focus is from the international community to diffuse the tensions. But India has made it clear that terrorism is the biggest issue for India, and cross-border terrorism won't be taken lightly by India.